Hello, how you doing, Gary? I'm from Edison, New Jersey, your hometown.
I love that. What's your name, bro?
My name's Alex Romero. I'm an app developer. I'm currently working on an app called HackTap, which is for happy hours.
Okay.
But the big question I have for you is more related to a billboard marketing. Are you behind the hashtag Tom Shady? If you are, you're a fucking genius.
I wish that I could take credit for that Tom Brady hazing billboard, but I'm not. But thank you so much for bringing up that question so that we were able to talk about it here today. I want the loudest clap for that man, except for the two Patriot fans here. Let's keep it
Hey
going.
Gary, I'm Jen Lebowitz, from New York originally, but here with a team of community managers from Philly and my brother from New York.
Love it.
Thank you so much for the show, first of all. It's awesome. We freaking love it.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask if, well, I know you hate automation, but once you get so big to the point where you're scaling your community so much that it's critical to automate,
what?
How do you decide what and when?
Jen, right? That's what you said your
Jen,
name?
yeah.
Jen, why is it critical to automate?
Like if you're getting thousands of emails a day of people registering, you can't like manually write back.
Okay, okay, got it. You know, there's a big, guys, and this is why this show is great. Let me redefine this. There's a big difference between automating your human interaction versus automating a sign-up process or something that can and is acceptable to be automated. Like, for example, I think it was today, I just saw it somewhere in my stream, like, did the President of the United States sign up today? Like, right, like I think he said, the tweet was on Twitter, I think Barack Obama finally signed up, and the tweet was like, now I'm finally really here. There was a video I made 6 years ago that you can see where people got mad at me because I said that wasn't really Barack Obama tweeting on his behalf, and that was fucked up because everybody was mad at Britney Spears for like a day for not doing it and having her manager, like, and everybody was all about Obama and down on Britney at the time. I was like, fuck this, Britney's back, baby. So I wanted to back up Britney, and I jumped in and made a video, and I was like, do you think Barack's really doing this? And everybody's mad at me. So Jen, I think what you need to recognize is there's plenty of circumstances where you need to automate as long as you're not making pretend. Like if your automation email when somebody's signing up is like, hey, Jack, this is Rick, really, now you're getting into that level of like trying to fake the funk. But automation's fine in a lot of places, not just, I just don't want people automating their human interaction or making pretend it's them. You know, people get pumped when a celebrity replies to them. That like means something to them. And when they find out that that's like Ricky, the PM of that person, they get disappointed, and that takes equity away. It's just not authentic.
Cool, thank you so much. Yeah, that really helps.
Was that it?
Sure, yes, thank you.
Well, no, meaning, I don't want a second question, but like, are we down the line? Like, did that clarify that conversation?
That totally clarifies it. Thank you.
Awesome, that's tremendous. All right, let's clap it up.
Is this on?
Hell yeah, it's on.
Hi Gary, my name is Jordan. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Warsaw, Poland.
I love it.
And I have...
Are you the one that I was tweeting with today?
Yes, sir.
And so you didn't even know what was going on today?
No.
And then we tweeted?
Yep.
And then you showed up?
Yeah.
Big ups to Poland, baby! That's the ROI. Fuck faces. Alright, sorry, well, I can't hear shit. Go ahead, start over.
I mean, I was already in New York.
I know you didn't fly from
The Concorde is still working.
I get it.
I have a healthcare technology.
Start over.
I have a healthcare company that's focused on eliminating obesity in America, and I'm meeting with all these VCs, and they look at me, and I look like I'm 12 years old, and they're like, you know, what the fuck do you know?
Yep.
So I explain the problem. They're like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Like we really like that, but leave it to the grown-ups. And I was going, you know, fuck you and your receding hairline.
Dude, I'm losing hair, so watch yourself.
So how do I get like respect from them and actually make them see eye to eye, like I'm not, you know, a little kid who's tackling a big problem?
Yeah, look, I think the truth is interesting to me because I would tell you, like, I have no empathy for you because this is the greatest era of all time of getting disproportionate respect because we've seen technology grow, and you know, I was looking at the 30 and 40-year-olds in this audience who were like, we wish We wish we were allowed to do anything but go grab the coffee 20 years ago. So I promise you, like, you're getting way more respect. The fact that a VC is willing to see you is like way advanced compared to where it was 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. I would say this though, and look, you need to raise money, right? Like, you're not going to see them to go see their receding hairline. You're going because you want their money.
Yes, exactly.
I want to align you on some respect factor. You're going to ask somebody for their money, right? So, you know, we're in a place now where money's flowing so freely, but I would also keep that chip on your shoulder because that's great. I love that. The best thing to do, and I've said this before in the show, is sell to people that are willing to buy. To me, the second I feel any indication that somebody's not interested, like, I'll give you a good example. If I went on a VC pitch and it was allocated for 45 minutes, and if you sniffed out that they're just like, they're out, I would cut the meeting short. I want that 30 minutes back, right? So I would tell you to sell to people that are interested versus trying to get somebody and sell it to them. I'm never selling to anybody but the market that's attracted. I'm selling to you guys. You're attracted to this content. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to convince anybody else that this is right. I'm just going to go out and prove it. You know, so I would first, it sounds like you need money. I've never gone out and raised money. I just do shit, make money, and then go back and tell you I told you so, right? That, you know, and so for me, it sounds like you need dollars, cool, but money's easy. Go find the people that want to find their Polish Mark Zuckerberg, take their money and go and execute.
The thing is, I've been here for 7 days in New York, so I've kind of had an uphill battle, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I get it, but like, I'm not sure what that even meant. Meaning like
going into a bar where they only let me in because I'm 20, so
right.
I already get like shut down at the
right.
bar where all the networking events are. So I've actually been standing outside of like Wall Street firms and like hitting up people.
I think your strategy was fucked up then. Right?
Why?
Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at. Well, I mean, your strategy is not fucked up. If you hustle to get to New York, right, from Poland to try to raise money, then that's awesome. But then I wouldn't be woe is me about that. Like, dude, I fucking work 19 hours a day. Like everybody's got struggles.
I work 20.
What's that?
I work 20.
Cool. I work 21.
Just play the game.
So here's what I think. I think that you've clearly got hustle, right?
Right.
And like, I guess let's go backwards. Let's make it the Ask the Polish Kid show.
Okay. Bring it.
What do you need right now? Money?
Yes.
Cool. I think money's shockingly easy. So what I would tell you is, I would have, before I came to New York and knocked on doors, I would have used the internet, new thing, and I would have emailed people, hit them up on Twitter, done different things to try to have much warmer meetings in place. How many meetings did you have in place when you got here?
I had about 7.
So that's good. I mean, so how did those go?
They went well, but they looked at me like I was 20 years old and said, "This is a way too complex problem to solve for a young kid. We'll give the money to someone who's older and has more experience."
I disagree. I think that's what you want to think they thought.
Well, I mean, a few of them told me, and I said, you know,
yeah,
I'm not going to say it.
By the way, I bet you that they said that to you because a lot of people are bad at giving critical advice.
Right.
They probably just use that as an excuse. Because I promise you, I know every fucking VC in the game, and they're pumped to give a 20-year-old money. They just want to give it to something they believe in.
Okay, cool.
Cool, man. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, keep going.
Instagram. I'm forever indebted. It was the coolest thing that could have possibly happened, so thank you.
Thanks, man. I'm humble.
So my question is, Wednesday, I'll be on stage for the first time at a conference speaking, and your keynotes are particularly special and unique, but do you have any advice on how to go about giving,
getting or how
giving your first?
I think the reason my keynotes have worked for me is I've just stuck to the way I communicate, right? I think people overthink presentations. They're stressful, and there's a lot, first of all, look, it came natural to me. I didn't know, like, the first talk I ever gave, I was like 30-something, right? Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be a public speaker. They come natural to me, right? But I think there's a real strong reason they've worked for me, and that's because I just talk about what I know. The reason I don't need slides, the reason I feel very comfortable doing the AskGaryVee show is I stay in my lane. I'm pumped. By the way, I'm hoping today I can answer, not sure, right? Like you guys saw it recently with the new Facebook integration, just haven't used it yet, don't have a thought. So I would say, and it's back to the great question from the 20-year-old from Poland, right? Which is like, You just have to, it's the same game, which is like stick to what you know. Like like by the way, that interaction was super fun for me because I believe he's got a shot. I think you need to focus on the plus side, not the downside. So I think you just need to focus on what you know. Like you got asked to speak. The problem is a lot of people are faking the funk with speaking, right? A lot of people are, I'm an expert before ever doing anything. And so they're stuck because they've got to like talk above their execution, right? And so as long as you stick to what your execution is, even if you can build and build at a higher level than you even think you are, just stick to what you know, walk in with humility. The reason I often start my keynotes, as you've all seen with how many people here know who I am, I always know that 90% of the room doesn't. And it always freaks out the 10% that does, right? But the world's big, and there's a lot of stuff out there. And so I would walk in with humility, I would talk about what you know, and I would communicate the way you're most comfortable in communicating. I'd be crippled right now if I had to read cue cards, because it's not comfortable to me. I can barely read, and like that would be a problem. Cool, man.
Awesome.
I'm noticing a lot of people not clapping. All right.
Hey Gary, what's going on? Darrell?
Hey, Darrell.
How you doing?
Tremendous.
Thanks. Co-founder of Stost, which is a P2P marketplace for storage.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you about the economy of the sharing economy.
Okay.
Basically. Where do you see it going in the next 5-10 years?
I want to make sure you and I are aligned on the sharing economy term, because a lot of people are throwing it out in different ways. Give me some examples of some companies or some executions.
Okay, so like Uber, basically, or your company.
Why do you find Uber as a sharing company? Or Resi is where you're about to go?
Well, I was going to say Breather.
Okay, Breather, cool.
Basically, connecting two people for a
Got it.
marketplace.
Got it.
I just wanted to know where you see that industry going.
I see it eating up everything.
Got it.
So, and here's why. I think that human inefficiency is the most interesting, biggest upside market. I also know that people pay for time. This is a theme that I've clearly pounded in these 100 shows, and I'm glad, because it's going to happen, and people are going to understand. I mean, what blows my mind is looking at the level of income you need to make to actually buy back time, and the number's low. This isn't about making 100,000 a year. This isn't about making $1 million a year. People that are being very careful about what they spend every dollar on are willing to get an Uber, are willing to use Postmates or Insta. It's really time, man. I'm telling you, time is an asset that we are all increasingly every day starting to value more and more, because we're being pounded by so much, and because every second you live is 1 second closer to your death, right? And I think that people actually subconsciously understand that. Time becomes more and more valuable. I mean, it's crazy to me. I would always hear older people say, like, as you get older, time goes faster. Shit is real. Like, half this year is gone. What the fuck, right? Like it's intense. And so I think anything that software connecting two individuals, where there's a supply and demand situation at hand. D-Rock, don't tell me what to do. Where there's a supply and demand situation at hand is always going to be interesting. Right? Because there's so many people interested in that. It brings so much value. Save me time, or do something I don't want to do. That's the thing for me, right? I don't want to put that. Lizzie's like, put that picture up in the living room. Fuck no. Have no interest. Don't want to do it. Can't do it really well. Don't want to do it. Super pumped to open my app. Handyman. Get the fuck over here. So I think there's gonna be a ton of that.
Thank you.
You got it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Gary? Over to your right.
See you,
Cheers.
man. Cheers.
My name's John Henry. I'm a serial entrepreneur now, just coming off my first exit, and now I'm running an accelerator. So it kind of puts me in an odd position, because my first company, my success was predicated on how well I executed.
Yes.
And now it's predicated on how well my companies get to execute. By the way, shout out to Sean. I went to Vayner RSC last week. He's going to stop by.
Great.
But can you give me some advice on what to focus on with my companies to make sure that they go out there and kill it?
Yeah, listen, I really struggled with this transition from being the entrepreneur at Wine Library to investing after I made the first 3 good investments, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, where I was like really just trying to make money, and I was like, these are the best companies, when I then started investing for real, which was interesting, I got dumber as I started investing for real. The biggest thing that you need to be careful of is recognizing you're not executing it. I made a ton of investments based on things that I knew would work. I just didn't realize, oh crap, the jockey can screw it up. So you've heard me a lot say, I bet on jockeys a lot of times, not just the horse. You need to be careful that these companies aren't just great on paper with like the idea. You have to believe in the entrepreneur. It's all operations and execution. Every idea is good in theory. So I think the biggest thing you need to look out for is you need to be auditing the individuals, not necessarily the idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, my man.
Thanks, man. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
being here.
Yep.